And on this episode of Oh Dear Lord, we have this from Collider. 5 films that were completely misunderstood by the masses. Give them another chance. Now, the first thing I noticed with this article was the picture of American Psycho, followed by a picture of the movie Cuties. Give them another chance? So, is this article gonna say that Cuties was a misunderstood movie and we should give it another chance? Now, I don't mean to really phone this video in, but the article title is very, very misleading, as it says movies that were completely misunderstood. So, you go to Fight Club and you're like, oh, okay, is this writer gonna tell me about the hidden things about this movie that I might not have realized the 20 or 30 times I've seen this movie, that maybe this writer knows a lot more about this movie than was actually said on screen to give some kind of insight? No. None of that happens. The author of this article simply just explains the movie. Doesn't give an opinion of, oh, this part was misunderstood and maybe Tyler Durden really wasn't the hero. It even says Fight Club is about the detriments of consumerism to the human soul. Yeah, that is one of the themes of this movie. Also explains how it created a support system for troubled people to beat themselves back to life comes from the idea of self-destruction as a form of rebellion against a world that puts so much value on money, status, and power. Yes, that was the theme of the movie. We get it. And at this point of it, I feel like the only part of this article that I disagree with the Fight Club section, it says, the narrator scrambling to undo the damage Tyler has done. Well, in the end, the narrator did not actually accomplish anything of undoing a single thing that Tyler has done. In the end of the movie, the bombs blew off just like Tyler planned, and the group is still together. It's not like he said, I'm disbanded Fight Club and Project Mayhem, we're all leaving. The end of the movie, the bombs still blew off and all the credit card companies crumbled and everyone's debt went down to zero. So you did try to undo everything, but you accomplished nothing. And while he didn't necessarily succeed, the buildings came down. Tyler Durden won. He does find a middle ground between self-destruction and whatever this bullshit college word is, and admits his true feelings for Marla in the process. It's actually kinda wholesome. So again, you just explained the ending of the movie. That is why I'm taking this article not that seriously. Wrinkle in Time, same exact thing. Goes on to explain the entire movie, but I found this line very, very funny. A Wrinkle in Time was universally panned by critics and audience alike for reasons such as bad directing, bad acting, bad cinematography, and bad CGI, all given. Funny enough, few of these criticisms actually apply. That's not really an argument. You can't just say, no, you're wrong. Explain to me why I'm wrong. As this author here says, funny enough, few of these criticisms actually apply, but doesn't really go into detail of defending any of these criticisms. Just, you know what? No, you're wrong, I'm right. Okay, moving on. The Wrinkle in Time part, it just explains the entire movie. Then it goes on to The Last Jedi, explains that people didn't like the character assassination with Luke, that he was portrayed as a grumpy, defeated old man who didn't care to fight the good fight anymore, explained how Daisy Ridley had a lack of character progression that the audience does not like. Yes, true on both accounts, and then the rest of the article explains the plot of The Last Jedi. So I don't understand where I misunderstood this movie, I should give it another chance, fits into this. But I'm only here for Cuties. I am very curious of what they had to say about this movie. And let me just tell you what I originally thought when this movie came out. I did not see this movie, FBI, but when it came out and all the articles were written about it and people were saying, yes, we had to boycott and ban Netflix and all this stuff, though, I took a step back and thought, maybe it's just an overreaction by people. What I thought this movie was going to be was about a group of misfit girls that are all being bullied and they all have shitty households and stuff like that, and together they form a dance group, or maybe they join some kind of like pee-wee basketball group or something like that and just do cheerleading and stuff, and through the dancing they become, closer together and all that shit. And then someone showed me a clip of it where this little girl was having an exorcism essentially on the floor and was gyrating in such a way that I had to turn the clip off. And I'm pretty sure that clip has been banned from YouTube ever since. It was worse than anything your brain could have imagined. So the article goes on to say, the entire point of Cuties was to bring attention to the constant sexualization of children. Now, out of curiosity, how many girls do you think were auditioned for this movie? Take a dumb guess. 700 little girls. 700 little girls were brought in to audition for this movie and were told to dance and gyrate and twerk and God knows what else. So when I see this first sentence of the entire point of the movie was to bring attention to the constant sexualization of children, no. The entire point of this movie is we're a bunch of perverts that got funding to make this movie. That's it. It didn't bring attention to the sexualization of children. It went out of its way to do that. It wasn't some, I'm going to show people how bad things are, so I'm going to do the exact same thing. No. These fucking perverts, these French perverts, decided to do this. And they got money for it. And they got backing for it. And after the movie was made, Netflix is like, oh wow, this is perfect. I'm going to put this on my site. No, this is not, they don't get a pass for this. You don't get to just say, this movie depicts certain things for a reason. No, it depicts it because they wanted to depict it. The images of young girls dancing seductively and generally acting like adult women was supposed to be shocking. It was shocking. It was shocking. It was disgusting. It was supposed to be disturbing, and it was supposed to promote outrage. Congratulations. You made a movie about the sexualization of children. Some recognize the point of the film was trying to make, but disagree with the execution. Are you out of your mind? Is Collider defending this movie? But people focus their outrage on the wrong entity. Who are we supposed to blame for this? So we're not supposed to blame Netflix for paying for the rights to have this movie exclusively on their site. We're not supposed to be mad at the screenwriter and director and people that made this movie because they made it for a reason. So who are we supposed to be mad at? It should always be the top priority in a film industry to protect child actors on set. Have you seen the Nickelodeon documentary? The film industry is infested with these people, and they've been getting away with it forever. And hopefully, the walls start coming down and these people get what was coming to them all along. But there was no evidence at all that any of the actresses suffered any emotional damage from the film. 700 little girls danced sexually in front of this old man. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a little bit of emotional and mental damage from this. And reportedly, there was a child psychologist on the set to ensure the young actresses felt okay with what they were doing. So a psychologist said, yes, it's perfectly fine and normal for 700 little girls to shake their asses and dance before these older men. Where did they get their degree from? Then it says, all in all, Cuties is a beautiful coming-of-age film about finding yourself in a world that places such a high value on women's bodies and sexuality. You people are nothing but a bunch of creeps. Can you imagine for a second defending Cuties? Like I said in the beginning, I thought it was going to be something completely different. I was like, there's no way that this movie is solely about little girls twerking. And then I saw the clip. I'm like, no, whoa, I'm good. These people are fucking crazy. I'm not defending a single thing about this. Then it goes on to talk about American Psycho. What wonderful insight can Collider possibly provide for this movie? Nothing. It explains the entire movie. Can you imagine being paid by Collider to write an article about, all these movies were completely misunderstood, but then proceed to just explain what the plot is in great detail? You guys understand that people can watch a movie that it's about bad guys And it doesn't exactly make them bad guys. Just because I like Fight Club doesn't mean I want to go out and blow up buildings. Just because I like American Psycho doesn't mean that I secretly have all these murderous urges and something like that, though. Is that what Collider does these days? Do they just sit back and go, oh man, I can't believe people like American Psycho. That movie's about a bad guy. Are they also saying things like, oh man, I can't believe people thought Thanos was a cool character. He murdered a bunch of people. It's like, yeah, it's a fucking movie. I'm okay with watching Christian Bale murder these people and be okay with it because I know in real life Christian Bale's not a murderer. However, I'm not okay with Cuties auditioning 700 girls, having them do these disgusting acts before all these gross old men. And then sit back and go, oh, well, that's the point of the movie. There's a big difference. Christian Bale really wasn't killing people. Christian Bale wasn't really doing these acts in real life. Both people that essentially played Tyler Durden were not blowing up credit card companies. There is a massive difference. Does Collider know that? And this green-haired author, does she realize the difference between a movie and real life? But I will say about the American Psycho part, this line right here always makes me laugh. This isn't a film for children. Do people think that children should be watching Americans? It's a fucking rated R movie. It's a rated R movie. Do they think that children everywhere are like, oh, I could watch, fucking Sesame Street or American Psycho, but I'm going to choose that one because it depicts real-life corporate America. What is going on at Collider Magazine? So, yeah, I don't really understand any part of this article where it says you should give it another chance. The only one of this article that they actually said was secretly good was Cuties. That they said glowing things about it. Everything else was like, oh yeah, here's all the bullshit themes of it and why it sucked though. But Cuties is nothing more than a beautiful representation of camaraderie. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. But what do you guys think about that? Is Collider out of their minds? Are they out of their absolute minds writing this article? Let me know what you guys think.